Welcome to Darby Lane. So this right here is 104 units that's back here, and this is one of the projects that me and Tiffany own together with some other investors in our inner circle community as well. And so one person may not be able to go get $3 to $4 million by themselves, right? Especially if you don't have the experience and you haven't done it a while. They really want you to kind of start at a smaller number. But whenever you partner with someone, how many of you know their resume become your resume? And so that's why partnerships are so important. And I believe that's why God created partnerships. And that's why I believe a lot of great partnerships like Joshua and Moses, it was able to thrive because there was a leadership position, but there also was a servant position. And so, you know, this property right here is one of those opportunities where somebody may not have had, $400,000 or $500,000, but they had $30,000 and he was able to come in as a partner. How many of you know that it does not matter what dollar amount you invest into it, you still own all 104 doors? Some people think, oh, I only put in 30,000 and so I only owe that. No, you own all 104 doors. And so this is a great site for you guys to be able to walk and tour. This property brings in about $800,000 gross a year. And so when you think about income, how many of you would love to add that gross to your bottom line? Yeah. Look, y'all done went to sleep, woke up, and now y'all are ready. Okay, I like this. Yes. Yeah, and so whenever you're thinking of buying income, that's what we think about. There's 104 doors back here. Okay, so there's 104 people paying rent. Imagine you having 100 people paying you rent every single month. Just to put it in the simplest of forms. That right there is how you be able to create income. So while you sleep, your bricks are still making money. Yes. Mm-hmm. And so today you're going to go through some of the units. Some of the units are renovated, some are not. We have what's called classic units, and then we have the renovated units. The classic units are the ones that have not really been updated, and those we charge a smaller amount in rent. And then the renovated ones we charge a little bit more because obviously they're getting an upgraded unit. Okay, and so the average rents back here is about $750 to $850. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, yes, yeah, I know, right? That's why we love Louisiana, because y'all rents be way different. So, that's why, I tell people, man, we can just buy so much out here. We don't know how blessed we are, because when you hear what other people are paying, like even in Georgia for a 2-bedroom, it's like $1,700. It's like, what? And so, but again, $1,700 out here puts you up in River Ranch. You're living in one of the nicer places here for a 2-bedroom. And so this right here is a Class C asset. So there's Class A, B, C, and D, right? This is a Class C asset. It's a value add opportunity that we acquired. We negotiated this property for quite some time. The owner was stuck at she was over $4 million in price. But before she even came back on the market, probably about maybe 15 or 16 years ago, I was trying to acquire this same property from the same owner, but she wasn't really serious in selling at that point in time. So the transfer of wealth is from the inpatient to the patient. Remember that the transfer of wealth is from the inpatient to the patient. I was very patient with this asset. I was very strategic, and it was very calculated. And whenever she entered into another season in her life where she needed to get this asset off because it was costing her so much money because of all the maintenance that she did not do to upkeep this property, then we were able to come in and negotiate it. And so we did the stabilization, and we're still stabilizing. So when we acquired it, she had these false numbers, I would call them, where the occupancy was a lot higher than what it really was. So she had the occupancy, it was like maybe 89% or 90%, somewhere within those numbers. So that means how many of the units are actually occupied, right? when we took over, we had probably about 15 to 16 evictions that had to take place. So obviously that dropped our occupancy rate. Now what's important with your occupancy rate is you want to make sure that you know what that bottom line number is so you can still pay the note at the bank. So one cool thing that I'll share with you guys is this laundromat over here, right? So that right there is just income being provided for us. So we don't own that stuff in there. So we have a company where they signed a contract with us to pay us every single month to be able to be our service provider for the laundromat. Yes, yes, yes. That's right. Yes. And so and so we renegotiate that contract every 2 to 3 years. We would be renegotiating it, but we changed out the other company that we had. Whenever we took it over, we removed them from back here and we negotiated a better contract with this company. And so we're super excited. Now the residents are able to wash their clothes. It's a lot more affordable, but also it just helps us generate more income. So a Class A asset, and I just kind of want to talk about this real quick because I mentioned that this was a Class C asset, right? So a Class A asset is going to be your top of the line apartment living. It has, Josh, you okay? Are you running? I saw you were running. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right, I was like, what's going on? Don't give me a head start. Don't give me a reason to run. I will leave all of y'all out here. I'm always paying attention, okay? Yes. Yes. Don't threaten me with a good time. Yeah. So this Class A asset, so a Class A asset is going to have all of your top of the line amenities, right? You're going to have granite countertops. You're going to have updated cabinetry. You're probably going to have brand new laminated wood flooring. You're probably going to have a front desk concierge that checks everybody in. You're probably going to have elevators. You're going to have, there's one apartment complex that's out here now. They just opened up where now they have like a bar where their residents can go and hang out on their community. It's definitely a Class A asset. They have a ton of luxury amenities, and all the residents have to do is pay like a monthly membership to be able to access like the restaurant, the bar, and things like that. So those are typically your Class A assets. Your Class B is a step down from your Class A, but it really only changes in regards to amenities and things that's available to that particular asset. Then you got your Class C and D assets. Those are typically the assets that are, a little bit more rundown, probably need a lot more maintenance. They typically are a lot more high risk whenever you're investing into it because of the simple fact you got to come in and you got to spend a lot of capital up front to be able to get the property back to where it needs to be. Now, some people ask, can you turn a Class C asset into a Class A asset? What do you think the answer is? Yes. Okay, I say no. Yeah, because think about it, right? The amenities, right? So if elevators and concierge and all of these things is a part of it, that's just more added expense. On top of that, where your Class C assets and Class D assets are typically located, it's not in the same area as Class A and Class B assets. And so location plays a big part with your assets, right? Some people have said, like, for instance, we have another property we were looking at. It was in New Orleans, and they were like, this is a Class B asset. So whenever you put that type of class on it, a buyer is expecting that class when they get there. So we showed to this property in New Orleans. I'm like, this not even a C or a D, this is a F. Like, it has failed everything, okay? It was really, really bad, right? And I'm like, I called the agent. I'm like, hey, why you said it's a Class B asset? And he was like, oh, well, that's what the owner told me. I'm like, yeah, no, that's not true. So, and they were asking Class B pricing, right, for Class C or D asset. And so I personally don't believe that financially it would make sense to raise a class all the way up to A. It wouldn't be financially feasible for a project unless you have additional acreage or something like that and you can build around it. But again, that location is going to play a big part. I don't see Class A or B properties in New Iberia. So you got to also check your comps and see what your competition is. So we are in line with the other apartments that are back here, and we're constantly checking their rents. We're checking like their amenities. Like we created like a little community room for us, because guess what? The other competition around here has that, right? Another thing a class A or B asset has is a gym.
Yeah.
Right? And so we don't have that. And so, you know, whenever you're looking at your rent price and things like that, so does the tenants. And they want to get as much as they possibly can. So take this time. You're going to be assigned teams. Asia's going to come give instructions on how we're going to break up into groups and get you guys started. If you have questions, you can ask your team lead. And then from there, we're going to have a good time.
Yeah. You don't want to ever paint over the mold, because that can come back to haunt you and you Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Needs to be replaced. So the locks of the floor in your hair. You get to see the process.
What is the price for it? Is it still 2 bedrooms?
This one is, yes, it is a 2-bedroom.
Same price, around $750.
Yeah, so it would probably be, if they're putting in the stuff, it'll probably end up being a renovating unit. So it'll end up being a 25.
Wow.
And then what's the turnaround for, like if someone's like, oh, I want that,
They usually try to do it as fast as possible, I'll be honest, but sometimes it depends on how many other things we got going on.
2 bedrooms, bath.
So it really all depends on, you know, how it's slower, how to do like so they have to do a lot of weakness. This one is very descending, so that's why it's like just starting to drop.
From this brand, when I'm going in places, I'm able to look for something. It's like, oh, this is what you guys are doing. Close doors.